Hello, everyone. It is Jess. For those who are new here, my pronouns are they, she, and I'm coming to you from Shabuktuk, Halifax, and I am here to share stories from the queer community, from the voices in the community, just talking about whatever. Normally, in my episodes, I would have nice, drawn out conversations, just tackling all sorts of things. Today, that's not going to be the kind of episode this is. Today, it's a very short, singular story, no back and forth, just a retelling of an event. Before we get into the story and what it's about, I want to say thank you to everyone who tuned in for episode 1. I will say that I did hear the comments about the audio, and I want to assure you that that was just a mistake during export and won't happen again. Really sorry about that. I also want to let you know that this coming April, I'm going to be doing a bit of travel, shall we say. And as a result, the summer is going to be chock full of amazing stories and really good conversations that I'm so very excited for all of you to get a chance to hear. But until then, we kind of need to whet your palate. We need to have something there to just a little teaser, a little appetizer, if you will. And what better way to give someone an appetizer than to hear from Dan MacKay.
So Centertown Bed and Breakfast had to take guests out on this dory, and it was docked it was anchored at the moored, I should say, at the Horseshoe in the Northwest Arm. And so, someone would be visiting, and as an experience, someone would be visiting the bed and breakfast, and as an experience, they take them out in this dory around Halifax Harbour, which is pretty cool. You're coming from somewhere, and you get to go out with a bunch of gay guys on a dory in in Halifax Harbour. And the thing has a special kind of engine in it. You can't really see it in that picture, but it's an antique engine called the Make and Break. They were very popular 100 years ago, and they don't wear out ever. So Make and Break literally could be like you could take one out of storage 500 years from now, give it a heave, and it would start running. Anyway, they invited us out for a fancy. This place was run by Stephen Surge. They invited us, who were close friends, invited us out for a fancy cocktail party on the dory on like a Tuesday night or something. And we're like, yeah, of course. And we got all dressed up. I had one nice suit called a seersucker suit. Me and my partner had matching seersucker suits, quite fancy. White, okay? White seersucker suit. And we got on the thing, and for the first 15 minutes, the engine, and they make a very, very particular noise. They go, you can Google up the sound of a make and break engine. They go chugga 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 chugga, and this thing was doing that for the first 15 minutes, and then it was going chugga 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 chugga, and then as the evening went on, it was going like chugga 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 chugga. I'm like, Steve, what's going on with the engine? And he said, oh yeah, actually that's one of the reasons that we invited you. It's doing that, and I was hoping you could take a look at it. In my seersucker suit, in the middle of Halifax Harbour, with no tools, because people know that I fix things, right? And so it's like, I'm hoping you can take a look at it. And the thing's inside a box there. It's odd that you can't really see it. And so as the evening, and I'm like, dude, I have no tools, I have no test equipment, and I'm dressed to kill. I can't. And it's like, oh, all right, we'll take a look. And as the evening went on, the thing was going like, chugga, chugga. And finally it stopped in the middle of the harbor an hour before sunset. And we were adrift. And we're like, well, we can row back. And I took a look at it. We took the cover off, and I took a look at it, and I said, look, it has a funny 12-volt battery, about this big. They're called a lantern battery. That just did the ignition. And I was able to test how much voltage, it's not a test, I was able to show how much voltage was coming out of this thing, and the voltage that it was producing was producing about 1,000 volts, and it should produce about 10,000 volts, which is proportional to how much power is coming in. And so I said, look, Steve, as far as I can tell, the battery's dead, and we didn't have, there was no spare battery on board, should have been. And he's like, oh, that's not possible. We just replaced it a few months ago. And I'm like, that's all I can do. That's all I can do. The compression is fine. The fuel supply is fine. There's nothing else that can be wrong. And I can see that the ignition is not correct. And the way that you test it is how long is the spark. So it should produce a spark about that long, and it was only producing a spark about that long. So it's like, there's something wrong here. And it's like, well, I can't make it work. There's no way that we can get, the thing only needs 6 volts, but we have no supply of 6 volts. The boat had no lights, and it was getting dark, and I was starting to panic. It's like, okay, we're going to row this thing, because they're built to row. It has, they were built to row with these hugely long, like 10-foot oars. It's like, oh yeah, fine, we'll row. And he got at the oars, and there are no oar locks, and you can't row without oar locks. And I'm like, it's like, can we rig up something for an oar lock? And we couldn't find anything. And finally, people, one person took an oar on each side and started paddling it like a gondola or a canoe, like a gondola. But we were making almost no progress. And at the time, I was working in fisheries, I was a fisheries consultant. And you had very high-level meetings with people, like you'd be doing a thing, and so you'd be asked to appear at a hearing to present your findings to government officials periodically. And so we're paddling, and a canoe comes up with a little outboard, a tiny outboard motor, the size of a loaf of bread. And it's the Deputy Minister of Fisheries, Peter Underwood. And it's like, hey guys, you need a hand? And I'm just like, fuck. And I was trying to hide, right? But there's no place to hide on this boat. And it's like, oh my God, this is the most mortifying experience of my life. And so, no, we didn't put the engine on. He just gave us a piece of rope. He had rope. We did not. More mortification. Hooked a piece of rope on, and he towed us back to the horseshoe with his canoe. So that's my story with that boat.
I want to thank Dan for that story, and I want to thank you for listening. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all those things that I'm required to say in each of these episodes. For an additional amount of context, the Centertown Guest House was a bed and breakfast that operated from about 1993 until 2005-ish in the Chipuktuk Halifax region on Oxford near Quinpool by 2 gay men, Steve and Serge. One of the perks of the bed and breakfast was Dory bringing you this story. Until next time.